What's up, guys? So, today, here to talk about probably one of the most least uninteresting signings of the Detroit Tigers offseason. It was announced, 2 days ago, yesterday? I don't know. That the Detroit Tigers have signed Mike Pelfrey to a 2-year, $16 million deal. Honestly, I could end this video right here by just going meh, and it would pretty much put in perspective my feelings of this signing. But you guys want more than that. I don't get it. There was Jeff Samardzija, who got 5 at 90. I kind of understand. Avila did say he wasn't going to be shopping in the same aisle as he did for Zimmerman, and that is a $20 million difference. And who knows if you want to lock up with the youth you have. Who knows if you wanted to lock up a guy for 5 years with the mid-end of your rotation, even though Anibal's coming close to the end of his deal. Yeah, John Lackey signed for 2 years. Yeah, he got a lot more than Pelfrey, about double what he got. But Lackey is a hell of a lot better than Pelfrey was. And then you had Cliff Lee. You had Doug Fister, who's still out there. You had Kyle Loesch. You had Mike Leake. You settled on Mike Pelfrey. Here's how good Mike Pelfrey's been. Last year was the first time since 2010 he had an ERA under 470. He pitched 30 games. And in 30 games, he only managed to go 164 innings. He pitched the least amount of innings by any starter. That started 30 games. So not only does he not go deep into games, he can't pitch 200 innings. Hasn't pitched 200 innings in almost 5 years. He's only done it twice in his career. Doesn't go deep into games. Last year's the first time he had an ERA under 470 since 2010. And you gave him a 2-year deal. Okay. Doesn't make any sense to me, because if the signing does go awry, you have him on the hook for another year at $8 million that you will have to eat. And that is a lot of money to have to eat for another year. He's terrible. I understand you wanted to round out the back end of your rotation. You didn't want to go with someone young. You wanted to give your youth a bit more time to develop. Fine, I agree. That's what I was advocating for. But you don't give a 2-year deal to a guy that's been as bad as Mike Pelfrey has been. Now, you can make a case for Rick Porcello's kind of the same pitcher. But Porcello's 180 to 200 innings every year. Porcello was a mid-450 ERA kind of guy. But at least he gave you innings. At least he was consistent. At least it hadn't been 5 years since the last time he pitched 200 innings. At least it hadn't been 5 years since he had an ERA under 470. This is Mike Pelfrey. And you got him for 2 years at $8 million. Scott Kazmir's out there too. I just don't understand the point of rounding out the back end of your rotation with a guy that you want to keep longer than 1 year based on the youth you have in your farm system, unless you plan on trading said youth for either a corner outfielder or bullpen pieces. So the signing is a bit perplexing to me. I'd have much rather gave Doug Fister 1 year at $10 million, $8 million, which you were paying him before you traded him, to come to the back end of the rotation. And if he stinks, you can deal him, because you're not committed to him for 2 years. And the contract won't be hard to move. You can very incentivate it. Kyle Loesch, another guy similar to Doug Fister, got to end up moving to the bullpen like Doug Fister because he was so bad. At least he has a track record of pitching good, and you sign him to a 1-year pillow contract. It's a better signing than Mike Pelfrey. Now, it's not... I shouldn't be getting this worked up about a 5th starter. I really shouldn't. But I just don't get the general direction and the money and the terms based on performance-wise that Mike Pelfrey has brought. That's the thing that just is making me really hard to comprehend how this benefits the Tigers. Because now you look at their rotation, Verlander, I guess you can slot Zimmerman ahead of Sanchez based on last year's statistics. Sanchez, and then Mike Pelfrey, and Daniel Norris is how the rotation is going to look. So now what the hell goes on with Shane Green? Now what the hell goes on with Matt Boyd? Are you going to leave Michael Fulmer down in the minors another year? What goes on with him? Now what I will say is the Tigers have a lot of depth at the back end of the rotation, and they have a lot of depth if someone gets hurt. They do have a lot of that now. I will give them that. But what goes on from here rotation-wise? How do they do this? Why would they give a guy more than a year to when you got depth like that waiting to come and contribute to your rotation? Do you trade them? Do you make them wait? Do you put them in the minors to condition more? Does Boyd move to the bullpen to supplement you needing a lefty? Who knows? So where does Alavila go from now? I mean, everything he has done so far this offseason, I have agreed with. I mean, I like the K-Rod move. I like the Cameron Maben move. I like the Jordan Zimmerman signing. But this move to me is just doesn't make any sense with what options were available on the market and what he has brought over the last 5 years. It's a substantial track record of inconsistencies and sucking, pretty much. And like I said, I know he's the back end of the rotation guy. I know that's what his sole purpose is. But you at least needed to pitch more. For 30 games, he should have more than 164 innings pitched. There's just there's no denying that. I mean, guys back in the day would start 36, 37 games and have 260 innings. So it just goes to show you how bad Mike Pelfrey has been. So, what next? I don't know. There's a lot of non-tender candidates out there that I like the Tigers to go out and sign. And Greg Holland is at the top of my list for someone I would really like the Tigers to go out and sign. I know he was hurt last year, and I know he's had injury problems, and I know it's a concern. But Greg Holland is going to get a decrease in pay based on those factors, and I'd like to see him there. So, anything else happens in the winter meetings, I'll be on here, guys, to talk about it. Tigers signed Mike Pelfrey to a 2-year, $16 million deal. Okay. That's what you want to do, Avila. That's what you want to do. I guess we got to have a trust in him. Got to believe in him, like we did Dombrowski. Just got to hope and pray. So I got for you guys today. Go Tigers.